Hi, it's just Rachel again. Today I want to talk about the split personality of the governing body. I think any of us who read the witness literature on a regular basis will quite often see that the governing body, or at least the writers of the literature, speak out of both sides of the mouth. They'll say one thing, and then sometimes, even in the same paragraph, they'll say something that's completely the opposite. But a couple of things that have stood out to me in recent times are where the governing body has talked about parents instructing their children in the truth. On one occasion, they seem to say that forcing your children to serve Jehovah was a desired thing. And then on the other hand, no, that forcing your children to serve Jehovah is not a good thing. So I'll play some clips from governing body members speaking on these subjects, and you can see for yourself how they say two different things. And there was another point about judging that Anthony Morris talked about. So I'll play those clips as well. So I'm not very savvy on the computer yet, on YouTube and editing and stuff. I'll have to teach myself how to do it. Probably very easy. But anyway, I'll just play these little snippets so you'll hear them, and I'll put in the description below the links to the actual videos that I'm using, so you can check them out for yourself and see that it is actually those brothers talking, not just some very good mimic, what's the other word? Impersonator. Okay, so first of all, I want to play you a little bit Anthony Morris, and I believe this might have been a talk in, I think, 2015, but I'll put that down below, where he was more or less saying that it would be okay for parents to bribe their children to get baptized. So I'll just play this a little bit here.
You are responsible. Remember the nice demo? We've mentioned that before. Well, I'm not ready to get baptized. Okay, let's hold off on your driver's license. What? I'm 16. What are you talking about? I'm ready. I know I'm ready. Yeah, you're ready for a driver's license, but you're not ready to dedicate your life. Explain that one to heaven.
He's got the most shocking grammar, hasn't he, this governing body member? I can think of he always says gotta and gonna. He wouldn't get a very good mark, would he, in the Theocratic Ministry School if it was still going? But anyway, so there he refers to an illustration that he used earlier in the convention about, if a child was 16 and they hadn't been baptised yet, then say, well, you're old enough to get a driver's license, are you? And they'll go, oh, yes, yes, yes. Well, if you're old enough for that, then you're old enough to be baptised. So really suggesting here that it was okay for parents to withhold something from their child to get them to force them to be baptised. And I imagine a lot of kids would at that age, they want their driver's license. So, okay, so here who's sort of condoning kind of blackmail. Then we also have a little clip here from David Splain, criticising parents for feeling that, it wasn't their place to force their children to serve Jehovah. And he thought, no, that's not very good. So let's have a look. Hopefully find the right one here. Okay, here we are. So this is David Splain speaking.
Sometimes young ones feel that, they don't want to follow the truth too much. They don't feel like getting up and going out to field service on Saturday mornings, or maybe not to attend the meetings. And the parents say, well, I don't like to force my children to do something they don't want to do. Yeah, I want it to come from their heart. But is that really wise? Brothers, let's be honest.
Okay, so he asks, is that really wise to want your children to be moved from their heart to want to serve Jehovah? And he goes on this big long explanation as, like if your child had a job at McDonald's and they didn't feel like getting up to go to work that day, you wouldn't ring the boss, as a parent, and say, oh, they don't feel like coming in today, we don't want to force them, etc. Working at McDonald's and dedicating your life to an organisation for the rest of your life are two different things in the first place. But anyway, there's a little bit at the end.
For it. So parents, look well to the training of your children. And really, the progress that your children make, to a certain extent, shows what kind of a teacher you are.
Okay, so there's a little bit of pressure on the parents there too, that, if your children aren't making progress in the truth, as in getting baptised, then that reflects poorly on you as a parent. So there's a lot of pressure on parents there to put pressure on their children just so they can save face and look good. So, not good. So both these clips so far show that the governing body seem to think that it's okay to force your children, to make them go to meetings, make them go out in service, pressure them into baptism. But then we see another clip here from Stephen Lett, and this is actually from it's one of the morning worship programs that you find on JW Broadcasting, and this is what he says.
Now here's a question. What could we do to cause someone to stumble? Well, interestingly, there are several similarities between causing someone to stumble physically and causing someone to stumble spiritually. Let us discuss three. Now, one, pushing someone could cause them to stumble, especially if they're on uneven terrain, if you think about it. And this is true physically, spiritually. But think about Jehovah for a moment. He could push any of us, couldn't he? He could force us to serve him. He certainly has the power, but he never uses it that way. Instead, he invites, he encourages, and he explains the blessings, the curses, depending upon how we decide. But it's up to us, isn't it? For example, Isaiah 48:18, Jehovah says, if only you would pay attention to my commandments, then your peace would become like a river, and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. Beseeching, but not forcing. Now think about it. If Jehovah doesn't force, he doesn't want us to force either, does he? For example, parents need to be very careful they don't just simply push their children to serve Jehovah, but rather lovingly, beseechingly, like Jehovah, try to reach the heart, and of course clearly show them the blessings that will come their way if they do.
Okay, so quite a different message there, isn't it? Not to force your children, whereas the previous clips suggested it was okay to force them, to manipulate them, to blackmail them into attending meetings, etc., and getting baptised. But now Stephen Lett is saying something completely different. Typical. Something else that I found quite amusing was Anthony Morris, who he just makes me cringe so much with some of the things that he comes out with. I think he probably strays from what he's intending to say a lot in talks, because he can become quite offensive, and I know some of his comments have offended a lot of brothers and sisters. In this one talk, he talked about judging others and how wrong it is to be judging others. And I thought, he's one of the governing body members who comes up with all his own little rules that he enforces on others. And he tells brothers and sisters not to be judging others, but he gives them the rules by which to judge others. So it's just very ironic. So I'll just play a clip of him talking about not judging, if I can find it. Here we are.
Stop judging, that you may not be judged. So he says stop it because he knew his listeners were doing it. And he's telling God's people here at all these conventions, stop it, because I know some of you are doing this. You've got to stop it. Harshly judging others. Stop that judging. And judges always feel like they're so intelligent. You know, these critics the same way. I can find fault anywhere I look. I am so smart. Take me anywhere on the planet, I can find fault. Well, Jesus is saying stop it. It's just harsh, it's wrong. Jehovah knows it, Jesus knows it, it's wrong. And it's just not the disposition of Jesus like we talked about yesterday. But why beat yourself up over your imperfection or things you did before? When are we going to get the message? Stop it.
When are you going to get the
Just
message?
stop that. Whether you're judging others or yourself, wrong. Stop it. That's what Jesus is saying.
Okay. Right. Now, let's have a look at an example of where this governing body member serves up his own opinion as something that brothers and sisters will judge each other by. And you may remember it. The sound for this isn't that great because it was a branch visit that someone recorded, and it's where he talks about if a brother isn't a ministerial servant by the age 23, then there's something wrong with him, and he's not suitable marriage material. So you can see now that brothers will be looking at themselves and feeling worthless if they're not a ministerial servant, and sisters won't be eyeing them up for marriage. And he also goes on to talk about his feelings about Spanx, which he really means like yoga pants, and tight men's trousers and things like that. So more rules for witnesses to judge each other by. So let's have a listen.
You know, a man is not serving, there should be a real good reason why they're not serving as a ministerial servant. Remember, sister, you know how elders get put in awkward positions. What's the story of this brother? I'm interested in marrying him, but they'd already gone too far along. But I tried to tell her, I said, well, think about it. He's 23 years old. He's not a ministerial servant. She married him. She paid for that wrong decision. 23 years old, and not serving as a ministerial servant. Now, and I mentioned this, something I've observed, I see it in the airports that worldly women, okay, this is what they do. And it's all deteriorated. Sometimes, even some of our sisters now, and I suppose they're probably really lovers of God and such, but you're not thinking of this verse. And what it is this Spanx, this skin-tight stuff they wear. Now, are any sisters wearing it in the ministry? No. I can't say I've ever seen that. But when they exercise, they leave their home and they're jogging in this stuff. Look at the verse. Is that appropriate? To wear skin-tight Spanx or whatever they call it, it's not modest, and it's certainly not sound of mind. It's really not appropriate. There's nothing else to say about it. Now, you want to be in your home or your room.
You get the point. So here we go with this governing body member introducing rules, if you like, that aren't scripturally based, not really. It's more to do with personal opinion and preference. But here he is saying in the other talk, don't judge, just stop it. Yet he's giving cause for judging. It's like the beard thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, there you go. Split personality. Faithful slave. Bye.